You seem uncomfortable. Do I make you nervous, Corky?
No.
Thirsty, maybe.
Curious, maybe.
That's funny. I'm feeling a little bit curious myself.
Mr. Tusk, why do you blubber so? Are you really mourning your loss of a podcast? I don't understand. Who in the hell would want to be a podcaster? God almighty, in all of my travels, I've only ever known a podcaster to be an ocean of shit.
Welcome to Pleasers.
And Punishers.
Where we talk about movies that people love to watch.
Movies that ruin your today, tomorrow, and yesterday.
And all things kinky and queer.
I'm... You just went... Your original line was movies that make your friends mad. So you know what? Well, I'm Caitlin of the North.
I'm May. You don't say Hitler in an airport, Schultz.
And I'm Amanda Jane Stern, and I have no interest in the not sea party.
And today we're discussing, is man indeed a walrus at heart? And if he is not a walrus at heart, what animal is he? That's right, we're talking Tusk from 2014, written and directed by Kevin Smith, starring Michael Parks, Justin Long, Haley Joel Osment, Jenison Rodriguez, and nobody else. No one else. The music is by Christopher Drake.
No one else.
No one else?
No.
No one else.
All right. Before we take a trip up to Winnipeg, tell me, what's your road trip routine? If you have one.
I don't take a lot of road trips anymore because that was the primary way that we would vacation as children. And there was one time we went to Wyoming, and it was like the worst vacation I ever had. My mom got really sick. It was like throwing up every night. I was throwing up every night. At one point, like they were driving in the middle of the night to get my mom to a hospital, and just jackrabbits were flying in front of the car. We're like hitting bunnies. But on the way back, we hit a small rock. On the way back, all of a sudden, we just start losing gas. Gas is just coming out of the car, and it's because we hit a tiny rock and it punctured.
Oh, no.
Yes, and we got, like, stuck. And, like, in Wyoming, just in the middle of nowhere, having to... No cell phones at this point, just trying to, like, get the car to civilization. And after that was not the last road trip that we took, but I wish it was the last road trip that we took. We did a lot of camping.
Wow.
And a lot of, it's not my favorite thing to do.
I just need to tell you that my original question for this was, what's your favorite fast food burger? And then I went, Caitlin can't eat beef. This is an unfair question. Little did I know.
Oh, yes.
What about you, Amanda?
I did not grow up in a road trip family, but I do like taking road trips with Julian because I am a passenger princess. So I will curate the tunes. It's always music. I don't like to listen to anything else but music in a car. It's got to be music. And I'll help with the GPS and finding food along the way.
Excellent.
But I'm just along for the ride.
Yeah. I love taking road trips, and it's unfortunate that right now this country is the way it is. So a lot of trans people and people from other marginalized communities are literally not safe to drive through some states.
Fuck this country.
Yeah, for real. I would really love to, drive up to the East Coast and visit all of the friends I have over there. I would really love to take a flight to Seattle and visit Caitlin. Also, Amanda, obviously, you're part of the East Coast.
East Coast.
Yeah. But I can't do it right now, and that sucks. And I miss it because I love taking road trips. And I'm lucky that I got to do some traveling last year. Might be the last traveling I ever really get to do. But one of those things was a road trip to Tennessee with Maeve and Erica to see Murder by Death play their cave shows, which was absolutely incredible. But for me, the most important thing in a road trip is the music. And it's like you either make a giant playlist ahead of time or you have albums you want to listen to, and it's got to be someone else controlling the music. So, Amanda, we would be good road trip partners because I love driving. I really do, especially long distance driving. I find it really relaxing. It's so much different than city driving. But I always love to start my road trips with the album Every Day by the Cinematic Orchestra. It's this beautiful, like, modern sort of... It's not just jazz, but it's really fucking beautiful. And that album is just, like, such perfect road trip music. It's so... It just gives you that energy to do your drive, and it's a great way to start it out. I mean, it starts with like metal, what are those things called?
Harps?
Well, there's like a harp glissando, and there's like the really little metal chimes like twinkling.
Oh yeah.
And it's just like, what better way could you start a road trip than with
envision
the
the
sound
instrument
of
you're
magic?
talking about.
Yeah.
I cannot think of the name, but I can see it in my head.
Yeah. Anyway, that's how I start my road trips, and yeah. Wow. Sorry.
I like listening to Orville Peck.
I love Orville Peck.
Oh, he's going to be playing at Bumbershoot, and I'm like, see everyone on September 6th because I know where I'm going to be.
I love Orville Peck.
I have still never listened to Orville Peck.
Oh, I love him so much. I think I brought him up off mic last week. So.
Yeah.
It's very fun.
I think he's very handsome.
Have you seen his face?
I mean, only the bottom half of it.
His voice is very handsome.
I find him attractive personality-wise. Like, when he was a guest judge on Drag Race a couple of seasons ago.
Oh, he just seems
absolutely
like
delightful.
Delightful human being.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And his voice is sexy.
Yes.
His voice is very sexy.
Well, speaking of sexy, let's get into some role play.
Is that your bathing suit? Is that your overbite?
Now, one of you will be the drowning victim, and the other one gets to be our lifesaver.
I'll be the victim all your life.
To talk about the least sexy movie ever.
All right. Welcome to the Not See Party, the podcast hosted by Justin Long and Haley Joel Osment, where they act like edgelords and make fun of pretty much everything. After showing a video of the Kill Bill Kid, which is obviously a spoof of the Star Wars Kid, Justin Long's character Wallace heads to Winnipeg to meet with the one-legged boy. Unfortunately, he arrives at the house just in time for the wake because Kill Bill Kid either died by suicide or had another katana accident that resulted in his
bled
death.
out from his original injuries.
Yeah, I'm unclear how exactly it happened.
I thought that they said that he committed suicide, which is actually kind of ties into, I mean, the original Star Wars Kid is still alive, but of course got an amazing amount of hate and bullying towards him.
There's a documentary about him.
Yes. And one of the things that he said is that, like, I had a lot of people, like, reaching out to me to tell me to kill myself.
Jesus Christ. People, fuck off.
Seriously, the
Fuck off.
dude made a silly video of him playing around with a lightsaber that brought a lot of people joy. Why are you telling this guy to kill himself?
Right. And it wasn't even supposed to be released, was the thing. Like, he accidentally left it in a basement.
If you were one of the people telling a kid to commit suicide, please go find the best psychiatrist you can find because there is something deeply wrong. Seriously,
Yeah, and if they can't
work
fix
through that
it,
shit.
maybe you should kill yourself.
Yeah, that.
Sorry, I'm not actually endorsing that, but like, don't tell
Dude, why the
children to kill
I don't get
themselves.
people.
Like,
fuck
that.
them.
Okay, so Kill Bill Kid died by suicide, which of course, like with everything that his character says, he just plays it off as a fucking joke and an inconvenience for himself.
That's why he's annoyed it's an inconvenience. Oh my God, I'm all the way out in Canada, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Well, in a bar bathroom, he finds a handwritten note from an old wheelchair-bound former adventurer named Howard Howe. So he heads to Bifrost, Manitoba, in order to interview the man for his podcast.
I love how that definitely does not come off like a fake name.
Does any of us have a bisexual joke about Bifrost?
I mean, he says it sounds
On the
sexy
Rainbow
or whatever.
Bridge to Valhalla.
Yeah. So Howard, played by Michael Parks, has a peculiar way about him. He makes Wallace tea and begins to tell him tales, including one of being lost at sea and becoming acquainted with a walrus that he named Mr. Tusk.
Technically,
back
he named
in
him Mr.
1959.
Tuskegee.
Yeah, named
Shortened
after
it.
Mr. Tuskegee, not Mr. Tusk because he's a fucking walrus.
Yep.
He's very mentally stable.
Yeah.
Yep.
Makes great choices.
So this was back in 1959 in Siberia. And then Wallace passes out from whatever was in the tea. We flash back to Wallace being an absolute dickbag to his girlfriend Allison the day before leaving for Canada. And then he awakens in an old-fashioned wheelchair and cannot feel his legs. One of which has been removed, a la Kill Bill Kid, by Dr. Moussier.
Because, moose. Moose is in Canada.
Got it. Thanks, Kevin Smith, who also removed all of the phones from the house. Supposedly, Wallace was bitten by a brown recluse spider, which necessitated these measures.
Obviously, this totally checks out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everything sounds really real. This is how science works.
At the dinner table, Wallace begins to flip out and yell at Howard, who stands up out of his wheelchair with no difficulty and slaps him across the face. Howard wants to turn Wallace into a walrus by putting him in a walrus suit and asking that he make 0 human noises. He must be a walrus.
This is when Julian realized that this movie is not about werewolruses, and he was disappointed.
Yeah, I like that idea. Allison delivers a tear-filled monologue about Wallace being a serial cheater directly to the camera, then turns to talk to the man sitting with her, who they keep obscured, but it's so obviously Teddy. I mean,
continuously want to call him Topher, too. High five!
Why is this beautiful woman with either of these men?
Because, I mean, when they have that conversation in another flashback, she talks about falling in love with old Wallace and who old Wallace was. And it sounds like he was a fun, sweet nerd. And he abandoned that and his principles for money.
For the money.
The way people do.
Like Nicki Minaj.
Why is she still with him?
Because it is scary to leave someone even if they treat you like shit. And even if they have drastically changed.
True. I just, this relationship doesn't.
I agree with you. I am with you.
This woman and these two,
she's hoping to change him back.
I can fix him. Wallace is awakened by the sound of his cell phone ringing, but he misses the call, and when he tries to phone Allie back, she doesn't hear it. Howard tells Wallace about the history of orphanages and mental health facilities in Manitoba and his horrifyingly abusive childhood at the hands of pedophiles.
Quebec.
That's what this movie needed.
Sorry, Quebec.
Yeah, I know. Yes.
Yeah. The way he lays out this information, and I just want to make note, this is no fault of Michael Parks, who does a great job chewing the scenery and doing his best with a script that I think is largely abysmal. In case you're wondering my thoughts on this movie, there's a little preview. But the way this particular information is delivered just does not work. It does not work because it doesn't come off as tragic. It doesn't come off as like, oh my God, this guy's really fucked up. It just comes off as him like using it as an excuse. And I don't know, it just feels icky.
It's his villain origin story.
Do you want to know how I got this walrus?
It's like in Hard Candy, Patrick Wilson's character tries to use the same thing to garner sympathy for himself. And of course, Elliot Page's character Haley is like, bitch, I don't give a shit. You're still making horrible choices now. Maybe that's true. Maybe it's not. You're only using it to curry favor with me. That doesn't do anything to ameliorate what you're doing now as a grown-up man.
No. Also, I love that fucking word.
It's an amazing movie.
Ameliorate.
Oh, thank you.
All right. Now, in the fully finished walrus suit made of the skin of other humans, Wallace weeps and screams. He is submerged in the water and sees another walrus-human hybrid that has perished, and he eventually eats a raw mackerel that was given to him by Howard. Allison and Teddy meet with Guy La Pointe, a.k.a. Johnny Depp doing, I guess, a French-Canadian caricature. He's a police inspector who has been hunting Howard Howe for years. And Howard has apparently killed 23 people, all in the same transformative way.
Good luck trying to understand anything that he says in this movie.
Like I said, it's kind of better if you don't.
I rented this for $4 on Amazon so I could have subtitles after you told me that, Amanda. And I'm like, kind of wish I hadn't done that.
Yeah, no, it was not worth the money.
He really doesn't bring anything to the movie. I feel like character could be cut all the way out of this and it really wouldn't change much.
We'd also then cut a bunch of minutes and that would be great.
The three sleuths make their way to the A to Z and discover Howard's address. And Howard and Wallace the Walrus do a little water ballet. As Fleetwood Mac's Tusk begins to play, Guy, Teddy, and Allie approach the house where Howard has also donned a walrus suit and is now battling Wallace. Wallace uses his tusks to repeatedly stab Howard to death just before the trio find him. 1 year later, Teddy and Allie visit the Manitoba Exotic Animal Sanctuary, where Wallace the Walrus subsists on raw fish and Canadian big gulps, or chug-a lugs, and a single tear falls from his eye. All right, my post-synopsis question. What the fuck? I usually try to do a fun or insightful question here, and all I could come up with was, what the fuck?
May, do you know how hard it was for me to come up with questions for the discussion later?
Yes, yes I do, because I was like, I want to make sure I come up with a couple questions in case Amanda, needs any help filling this out. And I could not think of anything that I was like, this will lead to a really good discussion. So kudos.
I really had to fall back on the bullshitting I did in high school when I would write essays on books I didn't read.
But you did watch this movie.
I did watch this movie, and I still don't have, and I don't know how I came up with questions. It was easier to write essays on books I didn't read than come up with questions for this movie I did watch.
Well, Caitlin, this was a you pick, so tell us, what the fuck?
This movie's hilarious. I don't know why everyone is so mad. I find it so stupid, so just like bizarre, and just not, it's not deep. This is not a deep movie. It's, as I said in the back, like, kind of this was a movie that was based on a podcast that was based on a prank. Like, someone as a prank wrote on, like a Craigslist. It wasn't Craigslist, but like a Craigslist.
It's the Canadian version of Craigslist.
Yes, I, want a roommate, but you have to let me treat you like a walrus. You have to, like, dress up like a walrus.
But see, I actually think that as the premise alone would be more interesting if the roommate went in knowing, okay, they want me to dress up in a walrus suit. Like, how do you mind that? And give them more agency. I want to see the weird kinky shit that comes out of that. The weird cat human and walrus that comes out of that.
In your country, you have cat and mouse. In my country, you have walrus and you.
Are you giving me some weird Selkie play here? Like, I
Right?
think that just going with what the actual prank was and then letting it be like a character study, almost like Safety Not Guaranteed, which is also based on like a shitpost, would be just so much more fascinating. And then we wouldn't have to have He Who Will Not Be Named.
Agreed.
What I will say is I actually really like about 3/4 of this movie, but the other quarter is Johnny Depp and Canadian jokes. And all of that I feel like could have just gone. And it would be a much more fun, unhinged. Kevin Smith was like, after making Red State in 2011, he was like, I just want to put something out that like doesn't mean anything. I want to just give Michael Parks a bunch of weird shit to say and listen to him wax poetic and quote, Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner and Lewis Carroll and just let him go. And that's what I want this to be. And thus,
Which could have been my concept, and then you just stay in the house and don't have the other characters.
Exactly. That I agree with. I think everything that I really enjoy about this is between Michael Parks and Justin Long.
So
Right.
Those are
what
the
y'all are
moments
saying
that
is
I
make it a
really
full-on
enjoy.
two-hander,
Yes.
and you're good.
Mm-hmm.
Have it,
And
have
also
it
then it's like
start.
a nice
Changed the script a lot.
75-minute movie.
But yes, it should have been a 70 to 75-minute movie and a two-hander.
Yeah, you have it start
Yes.
out with him just arriving at the house. Cold open, you see the classified ad, and then he shows up at the house, and that's where it starts. We fixed it.
Kevin Smith, you can pay us.
Yes. Yes, you can. No, I think my biggest issue, and we can talk about this more later, but I think my biggest issue with it, because this was a first watch for me as well, is that I think it wants to be campy, but it's using edgelord humor, and edgelord humor is like, it doesn't lend itself to camp. John Waters, with his very filthy sense of humor, he was never trying to be an edgelord. No. He was trying to push boundaries.
He's a provocateur.
Yes. And that is very different than being an edgelord. And I don't think those two things go together. And I don't think it's scary. It's not like really effective for me as a horror movie.
I mean, it's gross.
Oh, for
I
sure.
don't think it necessarily wants it to be scary, but definitely the little people eyes and that walrus skin.
Yeah, and I
But
will
it could
say,
be creepier. It could definitely be more under your skin.
yeah, they could have leaned a bit more into the body horror of it. And yeah, we'll talk about that more later. But Caitlin, what was your first experience with this movie? Because this was your pick, and this was not a first watch for you.
Correct. So I didn't watch it at the time. Other than Cop Out, it was the only Kevin Smith movie I hadn't seen up to that point because he didn't write it, so I didn't care. And people were like, it's bad and disgusting. So I was like, I don't want to see something that's bad and disgusting. Real gross, at that time at least. And then funny story, it showed up on Horror Queers. And in the beginning, they were all talking about how much they liked it. So I was like, stop it. I'm going to watch this. This sounds wild to me. I'm going to watch it. And I find it really, really funny. I find it really funny. I do think it gets into camp. And part of it is just because Michael Parks is so committed to what he is doing. I love that. I love watching someone be really, really committed to saying really stupid shit. It makes no sense.
That's fair.
And so I just really enjoyed that. And so I will say this was another one though when I was trying to think about like other movies that are kind of animalistic, and I thought of Sleepwalkers, which I did not enjoy. I did not have fun. Well, I have fun with Sleepwalkers, but I do not think it's a good movie.
Isn't there like mother-son incest.
Oh, yeah. No, that's an incest. That is it's all incest.
Yeah, guess we're adding that to our oops all incest, man.
And when I was going over things, it was actually Brian that went, didn't you really like Tusk? And I went, I did really like Tusk.
Thanks, Brian.
Thank you, Brian.
Right. So he reminded me of Border and Tusk. Two different coins. Just two different coins completely. Not even two different sides of one coin, just two different coins.
I'll thank him much more for Border.
Yes. Border was an uncomfortable but ultimately rewarding watching experience.
Yes.
Don't know if I can say the same for this. And through gritted teeth, let's move on to our next section, Faith and Chance.
I can't exist by myself because I'm afraid of myself. Because I'm the maker of my own evil. Goodness is only some kind of reflection upon evil. That's all it is.
What was happening in movies at this time? 2014 is actually a pretty good year for indie movies. It's the year of Boyhood, of Birdman, Grand Budapest Hotel. Of course, the big stuff that's coming out are franchise. There's another Hunger Games movie. But what's interesting is this movie centers on a podcaster. Even though when he starts interviewing Howard Howe and he's a podcaster, he's not automatically recording. Yeah.
He's a terrible podcaster.
Yeah.
But 2014 was still when podcasts were really rising in popularity. Podcasts have been around since the 80s, but it was kind of that first half of the 2010s when they really started to take off. So by 2014, noted podcast douche canoe Joe Rogan wasn't as famous as he is now. It's a shame he ever became famous, but he was, still just building his empire of shit.
He was a UFC commentator, but before that, he was on news radio.
Well, when did he start hosting Fear Factor?
Oh, yeah, that was probably first. He did that, and then he was a UFC commentator.
He created the podcast in 2009, and it didn't really become... 2015 is when it really took off.
Mm-hmm. Oh, boy.
Fuck him.
Interesting to note, the three movies that you mentioned, Boyhood, Birdman, and Grand Budapest Hotel, I pronounced that horribly. I have not seen any of those.
Wow.
I probably will never see Boyhood. I'm interested in the other two.
Boyhood either. I did not love Birdman. I did really enjoy Grand Budapest, though.
Okay.
I really like Grand Budapest Hotel as well.
Yeah, I really fell out of touch with Wes Anderson movies.
Yeah, I get it.
Because I haven't seen a new one since Moonrise Kingdom was after Fantastic Mr. Fox, right?
Yeah.
I think that's the last one I saw.
Moonrise Kingdom, I think, was my last one.
I think is...
No, I saw
wasn't
Isle of Dogs.
Wasn't Budapest after Moonrise?
Yes.
I think Budapest is the last one that I saw that's new.
Anyway.
I love the Fantastic Mr. Fox. We're all wild animals. Oh, yeah. So, I mean, that's also kind of a lot of... Really, when you look at it with the cultural context, because... podcasting, and I know I almost said Michael Smith. Kevin Smith was able to, he didn't really want to be doing movies anymore. And he was like, I can just make a lot of money being Kevin Smith. People like to listen to me talk. So that's what he was doing. And that's where this all came out of with him and Scott Mosier. It's Mosier.
It's probably Mosier.
Mosier.
Scott
Mosier. Who was one of the, I think, producer, at least on almost all of his movies.
I believe that's
to
correct.
this point.
Yeah.
But other than the Selkie stuff, which was what I was originally going to talk about, because...
Oh, it's okay. We'll get there. I went with that in my questions.
Good. Excellent. I didn't even look at any of the questions. I just wanted to be surprised this time around. But when he met the Duplessis orphans, I was like... Of course, that is what I grabbed onto. I'm like, what is this? Because I knew it was real. Like all the Hemingway stuff he said was real. I mean, fuck Hemingway. None of us are fans.
Nope.
But Hemingway was, as a journalist at D-Day, right there. I mean, not on the beach, but he was on a boat right there.
He was on a boat, getting wasted and trying to nail Picasso's leftovers.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's the 10 Things I Hate About You reference for anyone who didn't recognize it. And yes, I fucking hate Ernest Hemingway. I have read 3 Ernest Hemingway novels. Please tell us more about what you were talking about.
Duplessis orphans.
Duplessis?
Duplessis.
It's probably like
Duplessis.
Duplessis.
Yeah.
I was going to say it's French-Canadian, though, so...
Okay, yes. Duplessis?
Yes, I think it's Duplessis.
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 I don't think it's that.
This was taken from Canada's human rights history, that the Premier of Quebec from 1936 to 1939, and then 1944 to 1959, and had he's like the longest premier that Quebec has ever had. They called this time the Great Darkness, is Maurice Duplessis, and is associated with the worst instances of state abuse of civil liberties in Canadian history.
Wow.
And did they actually suffer any consequences for their actions? Probably not.
No. Actually, I wonder when he died.
But I mean, all of the people involved in this, I'm sure there was like almost no accountability for them.
Oh, no. You wrote it here, Caitlin. You
did.
You wrote it at the bottom.
Oh, yes.
And the answer is no.
No, not really.
Okay. Sorry, I'll let you get there.
Not anything that was like, no one went to jail. And a large part of that was because he aligned himself with the Catholic Church. I will say Kevin Smith is famously Catholic, but also is not someone who defends the bullshit that the Catholic Church has wrought upon the world. So I did think that this was very specific.
What a show, the Inquisition.
Oh, actually,
Here we go.
Oh, wait. What? Okay, so he died in 1959.
Okay.
He died while still the Premier of Canada, it sounds like. So
Was
no,
he defenestrated?
escaped everything. Oh, could only hope.
Directed by
Quartered.
Dario Argento. Sorry, una filme di Dario Argento.
It was funny in the human rights thing because they're like, a childless bachelor. I was like,
no.
He
I
aligned
think the
himself with
word
the
you're
Catholic
looking
Church.
for is pedophile.
Yeah. So he aligned himself with the Catholic Church, and the Catholic Church was the ones that were running all the social services in Quebec, which this included the orphanages.
And the pedophiles.
Yes. And in Quebec at the time, much like in parts of the United States now, abortion and the sale of contraception were illegal. So you had a lot of children who were born out of wedlock, and either these mothers were convinced to give out their children or they were forcibly taken. I actually know someone, not from Quebec, but in Australia, that they were adopted and found out later, like, this is what happened to them.
Oof.
They were taken from their mother immediately after he was born and never knew that family. I mean, this has happened Catholicism all over the world, Magdalene laundries in Ireland, Indian boarding schools in the United States and Canada. Very big on kidnapping children and taking them from their parents and raising them. What would also happen is children with deceased parents impoverished if their living situation wasn't up to whatever standards. They went to these orphanages, which do not sound any better at all. So the Duplessis orphans, this term applied to children who suffered particular traumatic abuse at the hands of the state and the Catholic Church and were falsely diagnosed to be mentally unfit and sent to psychiatric hospitals. And this is to maximize federal funding because hospitals were receiving greater funding than the orphanages were.
Of course they were.
Jesus.
And because these children were now treated as mentally deficient, nuns stopped educating them. The orphans in general were not required to be educated, and children in the orphanages, since they're exempt from schooling, majority of children only spoke in sounds until the ages of 4 to 6.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Couldn't tell time. They could not eat with utensils. They could not wash themselves. And in one trade school, up to 25% of the children between ages 9 and 16 were bedwetting.
Holy fuck.
Yes. This is like so dark. And it was an estimated 2,000 to 4,000 of the specific orphans were mentally, physically, and sexually abused. And this was not even known until about 1989. And then it wasn't until 10 years later the government apologized and then offered the victims $3 million, for all of them, $3 million in compensation.
A collective $3 million.
Yes, a collective $3 million. Yes.
Yeah, sounds about right.
And the group
Christ.
that was representing the orphans, this was rejected.
Yeah, no shit.
And the Catholic Church would not apologize either.
I mean, that tracks.
Surprise!
That tracks.
I don't think the Catholic Church has ever apologized. And again, like, trying to remember, like, for any of these orphanages, schools that they were putting children in. And then it wasn't until 2001 that the government of Quebec apologized again and then offered individual compensation of $10,000 plus $1,000 for each year spent in an asylum. That was accepted. However, then in 2006, the government did provide an additional $26 million in compensation.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't think anyone, because again, they would have been very much shielded by the Catholic Church. You know, no one was charged, is what it sounded like from what I was reading. So that was, of course, what I was just like, because it's not something that we necessarily know about.
Well, and also you're Caitlin of the North, and you're here to bum us out.
I'm here to bum everyone out. I'm like, this movie is really funny. Let's talk about some horrific shit, though, first.
I just also love that Amanda and I didn't find it funny at all.
I know you didn't find it funny at all.
No, I literally did not laugh a single time during the entire movie. 0 jokes landed for me.
I laughed when Julian commented at the movie.
Yeah, there you go.
I was texting Jamie the whole time I was watching this movie. And, you know, friend of the pod, Jamie. And when I finished, I texted her, God, that was painful. And she responded to me, honestly, I would rather go through childbirth because at least at the end of that, I'd have a child and not a Justin Long as a walrus-shaped hole of regret welling within me.
Regret. Right in the walrus hole.
Jamie, I wish you were here.
So good.
Oh my God.
I wish Devon was here. I reached out to Devon. I was like, what do you think about this movie?
Yeah, I texted him today. I was like, hey, are you still coming on the episode? Spoiler alert, everyone. Devon Taylor was supposed to guest with us. Unfortunately, his travel plans got a little disrupted, so he was not able to, but he will be back sometime in the near future.
Yeah, we have him booked for a different episode, I think, as well. Yeah.
We sure do. All right. Well, what about influence, Caitlin? How did this reverberate in the world?
I mean, people hate this movie. It's pretty infamous, though. Like, I feel like there are more people who have not seen it that know about it than people who have actually seen it. This was supposed to be the first installment of a True North trilogy by Kevin Smith with Yoga Hosers, which I have not seen and I will never watch. I do not find those characters funny at all. I find the acting so painful.
I think his daughter is one of the worst actors I've ever seen. I think she's I'm sure she's a lovely person. I just think all of her line deliveries. I got really into Cruel Summer when it came out, okay? I wasn't so into the second season. I thought the first season was actually really interesting, and there were some interesting thoughts there, and it resonated with me. But I thought her acting, because she's one of the characters, was just grating. Gratingly bad.
And I don't think Lily Rose Depp is a good actor.
I don't either.
Nope.
Either. So the fact that they are like the stars, and then you also have Guy La Pointe as a major character as well. No, thank you. This is the last chronologically Kevin Smith movie I have ever seen.
As someone who did not like Clerks 2, I have never watched Clerks 3.
Yeah, no. No.
I know a lot of people really like Clerks too. I know Trace from Horror Queers is on record saying it's probably his favorite Kevin Smith movie.
It's wild.
That movie did nothing
I'm
for
just
me.
not a Kevin Smith person.
I liked Mallrats when I was younger because I hung out with a bunch of dumb dudes who watched it all the time. And it was like, okay, I either have to
You're right.
make myself like this movie or I'm just going to suffer through it every time it's on. So I made myself like it. And there are some very funny moments in that. And there are things I still quote, especially, what's his name, who's trying to do the magic eye. And the little kid comes up and he goes, "It's a sailboat." And he goes, "No, it's not, you idiot. It's a schooner." And the kid goes, "A schooner is a sailboat, idiot." And he goes, "You know what? The Easter Bunny's not real." That, absolutely hilarious. Comedy brilliance.
When I was traveling recently, I saw a woman fall down face first on an escalator. And I do always quote, I'm like, "That kid is still on the escalator." I am actually a pretty big Kevin Smith fan. I was a film bro, 100%. I mean, I worked at a movie store too when I got older. So the fact that I really loved Clerks.
So what you're saying is you're Randall.
I always felt a bit more Dante, but
I know. Sorry.
You know.
That was supposed to be a joke because you're very clearly more Dante. And I was trying to be sassy. It did not work.
No, it's fine. It's fine. But, working at the service industry, I feel like Chasing Amy is one of the first, queer-based movies I ever saw. Then I went back and saw Mallrats.
Chasing Amy so much.
I think Kissing Jessica Stein is one of the first queer movies I ever saw.
God, that movie is so fucked up. It's so fucked up.
But I'm also a New Yorker.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It is so New York.
I'm a New Yorker. Fear's my life.
It really captures 90s
That
New
was
York.
from Rent, by the way.
I know. It's so problematic. There's so much that has not aged well, but...
All right, Caitlin, sorry. We keep interrupting you.
It's totally fine. Well, I was going to say, I think it was Chasing Amy and Rocky Horror Picture Show were two of my first.
Yeah, Rocky Horror I was in 5th grade when I saw Rocky Horror.
No, my mom was just waiting. She was so excited for me to get to an age where she could show that to me. She was we grew up, she had Time Warp on a mixtape and we would listen to it a lot. So she's like, "I can't wait to show you this movie."
So what you're saying is your mom needs to come guest on the show when we cover Rocky Horror.
Oh my God, no.
That's what I'm hearing.
My mom was the one who showed me Rocky Horror as well.
She used to go to the midnight screenings.
My
mom loved it.
My parents went to midnight screenings before I was born, but they never showed me Rocky Horror. I didn't see it until I was 16.
My mom
had a VHS of it, and she showed me the VHS when I was in 5th grade.
Excellent. Your moms are doing a much better job than my parents did.
We had fun. But yeah, I am a Kevin Smith fan. I definitely, when I saw Dogma, I used to own Dogma on DVD, and I'm kind of bummed out that I got rid of it because then you couldn't find it, and I feel like I could have sold that for more money than what I...
There's a new...
Yep, it's out.
I think it's Arrow 4K.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember.
Yeah, just coming out.
Yeah, and it's supposed to be chock full of extras, and it looks good.
So he's made 2 of these movies, and then he wanted the 3rd movie, and one of them he talked about was Moose Jaws, which would be Jaws, but with moose. Kind of how
sure.
House is
it's still on this IMDb.
Is
in
Jaws,
progress,
but with house.
You know what? Jaws with house. Okay, I'd see Jaws with house. A house.
Wait,
Jaws.
Yeah, that's
house as in houseu or
house?
Okay.
House. Yes.
I didn't know if you meant house as in the one with William Catt.
There's also House from 2008, which is a Christian horror movie, and I only know this because I I was a guest on God Awful Movies on their Halloween episodes, and that was the movie.
Oh my!
I forgot you can't see me right now, and I'm just like leaning back and forward, just going,
so
my
bad.
mouth wide open, like, no.
And also, it's not a house. It's set in a fucking hotel.
This is the Japanese one from the 70s. Previous episode, you can go and find that. But that was one of his ideas. He's like, they wanted me to make Jaws, but Japanese, and then I made it a house. And it's like,
Interesting.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I'm okay with that.
Me too.
And then there had been talks of Tusk $, where Wallace is transformed back into people
Back
and
into
then acts
people.
as the villain.
Is he not a
Jaws
villain
buttons.
already in this movie?
He's
I
not
think
the villain. He is
Primary
a
I'll
villain.
say. And then I made a snotty remark that, oh yeah, Robert Eggers definitely watched this and went, there she is. There's my not Mina. I should definitely cast this person in this role.
Yes, and she's
Fucking
bringing
Nosferatu.
as many emotions to that movie as she did this one.
I was not a fan of Nosferatu. That was a very disappointing feeling.
Same.
I guess that's how
I
all
really-
three of us felt.
Yeah. We're gonna have to cover that at some point so we
Probably
can
just,
rant
like,
about it.
Yep.
This movie didn't get quite as bad of reviews as I thought it did at the time. It was a 45% on Rotten Tomatoes. IMDb a 5.4 out of 10, and then Letterboxd is a 2.4 out of 5, and then a 4.8 out of 10. I know you two just really did your best to lower the score.
Oh, we both gave it a half a fucking
Oh,
star.
I saw. Oh, good times. Good times.
Go us, May.
Yeah.
Bringing
So
down that
funny.
rating.
Yep. It's a wide. I feel like very few people give it like 3 stars. This is like,
Right, you love it or you hate it.
yeah. Yep. Well, what kind of bullshit questions did you come up with, Amanda?
Oh, yeah. I guess now we should dig into the meat, the goo, the walrus suit in a section we call Enough is a Myth.
No. I've done enough.
Enough is a myth.
Okay, I'm gonna start us off easy, because I had to give myself an easy one here. This movie is told in a non-linear format, with flashbacks to Wallace and Allie at home before his trip to Canada, as well as flashbacks to him recording with Teddy. What do you think the purpose of this narrative framing device was? Is it to keep the audience on their toes? Is it runtime padding?
This is something that Smith employs sometimes as a filmmaking technique, the slow reveal of information through flashback. Am I remembering this correctly, Caitlin? This is something he's done in other movies. Okay.
Yes.
So I think it's a way that, horror and comedy have that same thing where you've got to build up and you have a punchline, or you have a build up and you have a scare. So I think what he's trying to do is obfuscate certain things to make them seem more surprising, to make them seem more intriguing. And I admire that gumption, but it doesn't work here. Because like I said earlier, when Allie is giving her tearful monologue and then you see like a hand come into frame and then she turns to the person who's clearly there and starts addressing them instead, which I don't know what we're doing there. But it's like I had no illusions that it was anyone but Teddy. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. It's just, I think some of the flashback sequences where it's clear that Justin Long is like unconscious and he's remembering things, I think those are okay. But I think the other stuff is weird. And I think when we first see the scene in the convenience store, we get an edited down version of it. And then when the two girls are telling the story, there's embellishment to it. There's more information there. And it's like, they should have just shown us all of that the first time, and then they wouldn't have needed to show any of it again the second time. they could have just been like, oh yeah, we know him. Show like one quick flash of him being a dickbag and then cut back to them.
Right.
So
doing something like that is to show different perspectives and how like different people interpret the same thing different ways. But that's not what this movie is doing.
No.
It's just showing the same scene from the same perspective.
Right. And like maybe there's a little more information in it, but not because it has changed perspectives.
I definitely think a lot of it is runtime. I will say, again, those not my favorite parts of the movie, certainly. I know some of it is to give us more, maybe even turn us more against Wallace. I don't think Kevin Smith is like, Wallace is our hero here either.
No, definitely not. I don't think he's trying to make him a good guy. He's just the protagonist.
Yeah, and the narrative of the story, like I said, this is a 65 to 75 minute movie here.
Which isn't a bad thing. We've all said a taut, short movie is fantastic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Keeps the tension up.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and I think a lot of these scenes also deflate that tension.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what else keeps it up is walrus
Your head?
dick bones.
Just wait.
Well, yeah,
That's coming
also,
up in one of my questions too.
Oh
not
shit!
yet.
Sorry, I forgot there was another question.
Oh yeah,
in
there's
between.
another
I was
one.
trying to give
You were trying to get to the third one.
God damn it!
I could do
Sorry.
the third one and then go back to the second.
Yeah.
No. It's okay.
In mythology, the Selkie is a creature that exists as a seal, which is basically a tuskless walrus.
Mm-hmm.
A
But
sexier tusk.
Yes, sure. But, I mean, yeah, actually.
My old friend Justine, when we were like 20 or something, she made a t-shirt where she drew the cutest baby seal I have ever seen and wrote "Goin' Clubbin'."
Oh,
Okay.
good times.
So in the water, they exist as a seal, but they can come on land, shed their seal skin, and become a beautiful human.
So a werewalrus.
Basically.
Or a were-seal,
Exactly.
I guess.
On land, Selkies must hide their seal skin. It's literally like they take it off, though. And
It's like, almost more like a jacket.
Yeah.
That they wear.
And
it transforms them.
they have to hide their seal skin. If a human finds it, then the Selkie becomes their captive, unable to return to the sea until they can get their seal skin back. In Tusk, we almost get the reverse. Howard steals Wallace's human skin, forcing him into the skin of a walrus for eternity. Trapped in that skin with no way to get back to his original form, he spends the rest of his life in a cage of his own body. Is Tusk actually an inversion of the trope of the male lover and the shape-shifting sea creature, with Wallace taking on what is traditionally the female part in such a story? Is this a sort of Bluebeard story? Is there a trans allegory here?
Gosh, I wish that I could read into this deeper, but I don't think any of that's there. There's definitely not a trans allegory.
I don't think there is either. I thought there was when I wrote this question.
Yeah. I guess it's a little bit of a Bluebeard because it's like, you know, he clearly finds a way to lure people in and he keeps trying to make them into Mr. Tusk, his best friend, with the ultimate goal of them killing him, which we'll talk more about in the next question. Yeah.
They all want to become walrus. Funny story, actually. There's a great movie called Song of the Sea, which is about Selkies.
I love that movie.
And it came out in 2014.
Oh, hey.
Yes, it did. Oh my God, we should cover that. Talk about fucking tear-jerking pleaser.
Yeah, and that was the second in the Tom Moore's Irish folk trilogy with Secret of the Kells being first and then Wolfwalkers, which it's just such a... They're all fantastic movies. Wolfwalkers really hit me in by the wolf-shaped hole in my heart. But it was funny when I looked it up because I watched it recently. I was just like, oh, it came out the same year. This movie, this sweet story about Selkies.
I love Selkie lore. I think it is fascinating.
Yeah.
Fascinating. I'm so bummed out that Wolfwalkers is only on like Apple TV, and the only way you could get it on physical was in like the actual trilogy that they put out that you cannot find anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Which is a shame because Wolfwalkers is also very good.
As you can see, I was just trying to pull whatever I could to ask questions here because I don't think there is any meaning either, but I'm just like, okay, Selkies, let's go with that. And then I wrote my question. And I was like, wow, I just made this movie sound so smart.
Yeah, I was gonna say, this is just Gen X men taking a piss with their juvenile humor.
Caitlin, do you think that there's some...
I did think about Selkies, though. I absolutely thought about that when I was watching it this time. Yeah, just the idea of like how this works on the inside.
I have no idea. I'm so confused.
So his
they
arms.
him.
Caitlin, you can see me.
I can see all of you. You
so
can't.
His
can't see
arms
me.
are sewn to his sides like this, so they can still be out like a little
But
T-Rex.
what about his internal organs?
Right. This is what I'm. And his digestive system.
Well, I mean, he's
so concerned.
still like a human shape within the walrus skin suit.
Yeah.
So there's just got to be like holes at the back for, elimination, we'll call it. And I mean, we know that his tongue got cut out.
Yes.
But
just screaming with his people eyes, little people teeth. It just.
I will say this is a really good prosthetic suit.
Yeah.
I mean, like the prosthetic
Props
makeup
there.
in this is fucking incredible, and that is probably the best thing I can say about this movie.
Okay, well, I'll move on to the last question then. In Men, Women, and Chainsaws, Carol J. Clover argues that in the slasher movie, the killer's knife is a stand-in for their impotent penis. At the end of Tusk, Howard gets into his own walrus suit and fights Wallace with the petrified Usik, which is a walrus penis. Wallace impales Howard on his tusks, and Howard dies seemingly in pleasure. Do we think that Howard has developed a sort of sexual desire for the original walrus, Mr. Tusk, who protected him when no one protected him as a child, and as such, he is confused desire to be taken care of by a parental figure with sexual gratification?
I actually think yes. I think that he does want to fuck this walrus, or this is his way of doing so. Like, there's a penis museum in Iceland. Which I absolutely went to. That's a fun place to go.
Yeah, Erica went there when she was in Iceland last year.
Did you see a petrified Usik?
Oh, yeah. They have, like, everything. Everything.
All the dongs.
The narwhals, raccoons.
Sorry. Oh, wow. That is really good. You say there's a narwhal, and I think of rock lobster.
Oh, that's funny. That's my dolphin. This is my seal.
What's your selkie?
They probably sound a lot prettier than
I don't know. I feel like the selkie would start that way, and then it would turn into like sexy human as it sheds its seal skin.
just go. But also, I didn't like think of him conflating like, oh yeah, Mr. Tusk protect him, and ultimately gave his life for one Howard Howe to survive. But there's definitely some, penis penetration right there.
Yeah, it's interesting because Guy La Pointe makes a point about how there is no sex stuff that happens to all of these people. But that doesn't mean there's not an aspect of sexuality to it. Just because he is not, directly penetrating and sexually assaulting these people does not mean there's not a sexual element to it. And, I mean, it's clear that he was a very broken young man because of all of the horrible things that happened to him. And it's like, the one true friend he ever had for 6 months, he had to kill and eat. Like, that's gonna fuck you up.
Also hanging out with Ernest Hemingway.
That's gonna fuck you up.
Yeah, that's also gonna fuck you up. Oh, boy. Yeah, I don't know on this one, but it is interesting to ponder.
May you just be like, no, there's no meaning. None of this movie means anything.
Nothing matters. We're all going to die. Let's go watch TV.
Hey, as Madonna said, nothing really matters.
Didn't Freddie
Anyone can
Mercury
see.
say that?
No. Madonna has a song called Nothing Really Matters, and it's nothing really matters. Anyone can see. Everything I give to you all comes back to me.
Oh, okay.
And speaking of that, let's play a game.
Hello. You don't know me, but I know you. I want to play a game.
We're definitely fuck, marry, kill walrusing this one. Howard, Wallace, Topher.
Topher. Okay, so Howard, Wallace, Teddy, and Allie?
Yes.
Oh boy.
Yes.
Okay, I'm glad you did not include Guy La Pointe.
He doesn't exist.
I mean,
I
we're
don't know who
chucking
that
him
is.
into the sea. He gets yeeted into the sun.
Yeah, he can go spend time with Ernest Hemingway.
I would love to never think of that character
Oh, boy.
ever again.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Okay, marry
Folks, I
Allie.
just need you to understand. Amanda has taken her glasses off. She is putting so much thought into this.
Because I want to yeet all of these characters into the ocean. Marry Allie. Walrus Howard.
Mm-hmm.
I
think that's
feels
fair.
poignant. I guess I'll kill Wallace because he seems like he's the worst of the two, and then I only have to fuck Teddy once.
yeah.
There's my answer.
Yeah, I'm in exactly the same boat. And here's the thing. Teddy is obviously not a great guy, but he seems like he's probably better than Wallace. You know, he seems like, this is my best friend. This is what we do together. I don't necessarily approve of all of it, but I'm going along with it because it's valuable and I get to joke around with my best friend. But also Haley Joel Osment has always seemed like kind of a cool dude. Maybe he's decent in bed, you know? You never
Yeah,
know. Could be an
maybe
okay time.
Maybe he really is a giver.
Yeah, but definitely marry Allie and pull her out of the I can fix him place. Yeah,
Because girl, we can
Fucking-
we can just murder them together.
yeah, exactly. Fucking kill Wallace, absolutely. And yeah, absolutely
Even just
Walrus
for that
Howard.
mustache.
Mustache man.
Mustache.
That was the
Oh,
only part that
mustache.
almost made me laugh was when they called him Mustache Man. But then it immediately gets ruined because she's like, hey, come here. And she's like, I'm coming. And she's like, well, hurry up. And it's like, is this,
Where are you
are
going?
them being annoyed with each other supposed to be
Where
funny?
Apparently,
where are
yes.
you going and where is this going? Oh, no, I'm going to fuck Wallace. I'm very attracted to Justin Long.
Oh, I am very attracted to
I'm gonna
Justin
put-
Long, but I
I'm gonna put
cannot
a-
put
This
aside
character.
this character.
Oh, no, I don't care.
You're going to put a paper bag on his head?
Wow.
No, I was going to in his mouth.
So
Maybe
you're
like a
gonna
sock in his
you'll
mouth or
gag him and fuck
something.
him. Fair, kinky. I like it.
That is purely a pure hate fuck right there. Just,
Okay.
and then unfortunately, then I have to kill Teddy. Sorry, Teddy. You probably didn't deserve that, but you were the one that was left.
Hey, but, you know, if he's Topher, he can come back to life.
Over, right?
Work in a
like-
little sweatshop.
That we've
I-
all agreed on who to marry and who to walrus.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that seems just the nicest thing to do to Howard.
Yeah.
Not that I need to be nice to Howard, but it really just seems like his ultimate goal is, you know, to be the heart of the walrus. So ridiculous. So, Punisher, right? That's it's where everyone is falling on this
Yeah,
sword.
this is
Tusk.
I think this is officially our most punishing movie that we have watched so far. Mm-hmm. This is the lowest I've rated a movie that we've watched for the show.
And you hated Phantom Threads.
I hated Phantom Thread, but it was at least pretty to look at. This
was not pretty.
It's not pretty. Kevin Smith is not a visual splendor filmmaker.
No,
you know,
but she's very...
I think that's another thing that could have made this better.
Yes.
If there was some cinematography that gave us some visual flair, I think it could have been a cool, like, gothic horror story, you know?
Yeah.
Stranger
Yeah.
goes to a weird person's house late at night, out in the middle of nowhere, and ends up in trouble. That is a classic horror trope. But normally it is accompanied by... Again, visual flair. It's accompanied by gothic chamber music. It's accompanied by all of these elements.
And then it really would be an inversion of the gothic, and having it be two men, you could play into the inherent queerness, and it would be like a gay gothic. Shout out gay work again. Hey ya!
and again, Kevin Smith, pay us.
Yes. Yes. I can send you my Venmo or PayPal or...
You just want to give me money.
Just give me money.
Appreciate that. If anyone wants to just give me money, I would really appreciate it.
If anybody would like to pay our podcast, you can reach us at the email that May will eventually read out.
Probably pretty soon here.
Did this movie have a score? Because I do not remember a single note of it.
There wasn't. Yes. So
I mean, I know it did.
Right,
Sorry,
right.
that was a sassy question.
No, you're right. I don't remember it at all either.
And the guy who did the music works a lot with Guillermo del Toro.
Oh.
Right, but also maybe the notes that Kevin Smith were like, I want it inobtrusive. I don't want people to hear it. And I feel like the score might really only come in the flashback scenes when Howard is giving his stories and you get
the film reel scenes.
Right.
Yeah.
And other than that, I don't think...
That was the one bit of visual flair that I actually did kind of enjoy, was them looking like old film reel things.
It was good. And then, I know there's like a piece of classical music that's used. And then, of course, at the end there, we have
Tusk
by Fleetwood Mac, which is hands down, oh, hi, Puka, hands down the best thing in the movie is getting to hear Tusk by Fleetwood Mac, a song that I genuinely really like.
I really enjoy the toilet paper holder that freaks Wallace out at the beginning, that little crocheted monstrosity of a doll. And I was like, how much do you think people would pay me to make those haunted toilet paper covers?
I love it too, but there should be more little things like that throughout the movie.
Yeah. And also he touches it with his dick holding hand.
Yeah. Again,
without
Kevin Smith,
it.
pay us. We just came up with amazing ideas.
Make a whole movie about that haunted toilet paper cover. If anyone would like to pay me to make them a haunted toilet paper cover with a demented doll at the front.
Hey, I'm still waiting on my Victorian vampire scene hanky.
I know, which is finished. I just need to send it, that's on me. That's like that last little bit that I'm terrible at. I need to find an envelope.
Well, I wait for Caitlin to send that. Let's wrap up with what awaits you next time.
Don't you see? He's got us now. Okay, this is exactly what he wants. We can't go to the police, not now. He's made sure of that. He's just out there and he's watching us and waiting. What are you waiting for, huh? What are you waiting for?
And that brings us to the end of our episode. Thanks so much for joining us on this journey, fellow travelers. If you like what you hear, please leave us a rating and review wherever you can, because it helps more people find the show and it makes us all tingly inside. We managed to get through this without murdering Caitlin, because Caitlin, we love you, even if you make us suffer. And if you want more of us, you can find us on Instagram at Pleasers and Punishers and on Blue Sky at Pleasers Punishers. You can also email us at pleaserspunisherspodcast@gmail.com. You can find me on Blue Sky and Letterboxd at Everson Poe. You can find my music on Ampwall, Bandcamp, and streaming services as Everson Poe. And you can hear me podcasting on Tender Subject and Slayerfest 98. Caitlin?
I can be found at Caitlin of the North on Threads and Instagram, Cat of the North on Letterboxd, and I keep popping up on People Under the Scares' Buffy Watch Along Fuck My Hellmouth on the Patreon.
And Amanda?
I can be found on Blue Sky and Instagram at Amanda Jane Stern and on Letterboxd at Witchy Wanderer. You can also hear me podcasting on Don't Be Crazy.
Excellent, excellent. And next week's episode will be on David Cronenberg's The Fly, continuing our journey through Animalistic April. And I'm spoiling my history with this movie right now because this is only going to be a second watch for me, and the first time I watched it was last fucking year. I somehow did not see this movie until 2025.
This is a second for me too, and it was only a couple years ago as well.
We're all there with you, May.
That is so fascinating to me. So I think it's going to be a really great discussion. We were supposed to have our friend of the pod, Kate Terry, on that episode. Unfortunately, she is not available as she will be traveling for one of her amazing art residencies that she's doing this year. But we'll still have a great conversation, and Kate will be back eventually. And until then, do some aftercare, clean your toys, set healthy boundaries, and...
A walrus never cries!